show. Well, we'll talk about that next.
Quiet. It's a song. That's right.
Wow, this is a freak show.
Danny Ryan, Russell, Mike, Devin, David, Tyler, Daryl, Joseph, Paul, Morgan, Tom,
The new kingdom. It's the Big Dumb Mouth Podcast.
Yep.
Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike,
Bigfoot,
Joe, and Cratchit.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray! My name's Midnight Mike. Cratchit is over there on screen. Thankfully, he's over there.
Nothing works here.
Nothing works.
Well, it's the story of our lives, story of this podcast. Somehow, even though nothing works, we still somehow managed to make it work. This is episode 1312. No Joe still. We're hoping that he'll make an appearance for 1313, but there's no confirmation on that. There's been no indication. I kind of gave a good once-over. I tried to explain it to one of the stands, maybe 3 stands, in the Discord about why. Like, people are wondering, hey, why no Joe? And I think it all comes down to, much as anything in this modern day life, it all comes down to money and time. And the show doesn't pay much, if that anything at all, sometimes. And Joe,
I don't know. My checks from the show aren't too bad.
Yeah, this is fair. Yeah. It all comes down to that. He has freelance gigs that he can spend more time on. Maybe he's burnt out on the show too. All those things are a possibility. But I would love to see Joe back on the show at some point in time at his leisure. Maybe even just pop in for 15, 20 minutes on 1313. I know we all kind of want to hear what is on his mind since what has been going on in current events and his life, but he has kind of given a big update on what he's been going through in the Discord. Like I said last show, he almost died in a bike accident, so he's got to stay off them bikes. He really has to stay off those bikes. But he loves to exercise. That guy likes to stay fit, stay in shape, and get out there. So God bless him. I hope he doesn't get hit by another homeless person on a stolen bike. So we'll see what happens, people. I know people.
So Joe, he's already responded to my comment or my question to him about Saturday. He said maybe.
Okay, it's a tepid maybe. All right.
He's got a lot going on, but I think everyone would love to see and hear from Joe. But we'll it's up to him. No pressure.
That's just the way shit goes sometimes, people. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this show in some form or another since late 2005, early 2006, and people have been co-hosts for a while. They dip in, they dip out, they'll dip back in. They dip out, never hear from them ever again. This is like I said in the Discord. Doing a podcast is pretty much a labor of love. Unless you are pulling in big numbers, it's tough to generate any sort of money for anybody on the show. And a lot of times it just pays for itself. And we get together and we try to have fun. And I really appreciate the time that Joe has spent and Cratchit. They don't have to do this. I think they might have better things to do with their lives. Cratchit, am I wrong about that? You probably do, don't you? You're professional.
I'd be working right now.
Yeah, he'd be working at some point. Working more. Working for a living.
I leave work early on Wednesdays to do this.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I think everyone does. But enough about that. People want a little bit of content. We're here to, I think, hopefully cheer people up, talk about some weird, strange things. And we're going to try to do that as best we can. But it is Wednesday, and we like to kick things off with Alex Jones' Clips of the Week. And I see some in there right now, so let's get happy. Here we go. We're going to do some happy Alex Jones clips of the week. This is the 17th of July. Here we go.
I get down on the ground and eat dog shit to keep fighting the New World Order.
Oh,
Grandma will be fine. Oh, Grandma's dead. He's being pissed on. I don't want to see you in the bathroom. I knew this before they ever said the piss thing. I sent child porn to the Sandy Hook families. I was just like, good God. Pledge allegiance to Israel. Your wife will sit down and take a piss in front of you. I'll piss in front of my wife.
What?
Wow. Okay. He did it. He's cutting loose. He's cutting loose. All right. There we go. There's the 17th. We're going to move on to the 18th of July. Here we go, people. Oh, I pressed the wrong button.
That one was quick.
Donald Trump and I have been dating since 2016. And I'm in love with him. I love you, Donald. Soros is eating kids. I am a huge user of... what's it called? Grindr. I'm also going to come out as gay today. I'm just going to tell you, he is a tiger in the bed. Let me just immediately run in and get peed on. Melania was a prostitute. Melania worked for Epstein. Needless to say, I'm a little bit wound up today. No wonder he couldn't keep his hands off of me. I mean, who could? Now we know what it is. Pure crap. You were tremendous in bed last night.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gay. I was told I'm gay.
He was told he's gay.
Yeah, he was wound up.
By the way, I'm gay.
Yeah, I think that's clear at this point.
I don't think he's even gay.
Maybe this is all because of. I'm sure it has everything to do with the news cycle, and people are saying that he is apologizing for Trump in relation to the Epstein files and all that stuff. I'm sure. I've been trying to keep up with Alex Jones. He did a big interview with Tim Dillon, and I think Trump's assessment Alex Jones' assessment of the Trump-Epstein situation is that the reason why Trump is asking or acting this way is that the FBI and the former administration left a lot of poison pills for him to find, and that the documents are. This is the speculation. The documents as related to Jeffrey Epstein are absolutely littered, teeming with references to Trump. And that all the other salacious stuff related to other bigwigs, billionaires, other politicians has been removed. And all that's left is references to Trump and Epstein.
Oh, well.
He did it all.
And so that's what they've been left with. And so when they had those tens of thousands of documents that were shipped all across the country, according to Pam Bondi, to go through, to comb over these Epstein documents, it all pointed to Donald Trump. And so that's why Trump is freaking out, because it looks bad, because it is bad. And, and there's they thought all the documents were going to be unmarred, in perfect working order, and that there would be an absolute trail leading back to the culprits. But no, it all leads back to a little guy named Donald J. Trump. So,
a certain gentleman known as Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him?
Yeah. So they're trying to clean this up as best they can. And I don't know. I don't think there's putting any genie back in this bottle. It was handled so poorly. Now, the PR is an absolute, pardon my French here, an absolute clusterfuck. That he is losing a good chunk of his base over his handling. Regardless of what's in the files, just the handling of it is a nightmare. So
yeah, I think what we're seeing there is, and we talked about it, I don't know if it was last show or a couple shows ago, but like candidate Trump versus President Trump. Candidate Trump has more time to, I think, is in better touch with his base, is in better touch with the voters, because he has more time to dick around in social media. President Trump now actually has to do things and is only told what his handlers, what his staff tells him. So he's disconnected to some extent and also insulated. And I mean that like in the most neutral way possible. And so I think he was blindsided by this and didn't realize that by just, there's nothing there. Shut up.
Yeah.
That people would not take lightly to that.
Yeah, that's not a good way to go about this. Yeah.
Especially the doubling down on it. When people are like, hey, you campaigned on this. And his response was like, we got other things to do. Shut up.
It ain't going to work.
That ain't going to work.
No, it ain't going to work.
600 pounds of men want to hear what's in those vials.
Yeah. We're going to move on to, I think we got to do Monday. Here we go. We're going to do Monday.
Be quiet. Can't start taking care of each other's tallywhackers quite yet. I am removing the filter. I don't like Colombians. I like how Spanish and Italian sound. I think French is kind of a fruity sounding language. I think German's a scary sounding language. I want to hit Jerome Powell. I'm trying to figure out if this is a prank caller or if he's serious. My good Lord. Take yourself off speakerphone. Talk right into your phone. That Somalian is an ugly language. It sounds ugly. This is riveting BS. Walk up and stab babies in baby strollers. We're watching it go down the toilet right now. What the hell's wrong with these people? You're right, caller. I'm going to go cry tonight.
And we're going to move all the way to Tuesday. Here we go. Real quick one. Not that quick, but quicker.
At least 20 times I've had sex operatives put on me. Bloop. Dad, I have been smoking marijuana.
Wait, what's that
Dad,
mean?
it's not in the shoebox under my bed. Get pussies. Hot dogs and walnut sauce. Walnut sauce is brown children. I get physically ill to see them editing me out of context. I wasn't having sex with that man. Melania is a whore. The moon is made of cheese. Tooth Fairy's real.
Well, there's some devastating clips there. Devastating clips for the fun pack. He actually gave himself a beep.
Bloop.
Or that's a bloop. And not a beep. That's a bloop. But he did say this. This is interesting.
At least 20 times I've had sex operatives put on me.
Yeah, what the hell? I heard that. That's an odd. What does he mean by that?
I think that they tried to entrap him. They sent sexy women of the night or men to try to
because he's been told he's gay.
He doesn't know what he is.
Yeah, I'm gay. I was told I'm gay.
To try to entice Alex into compromising situations in order to undermine his InfoWar efforts. So, but he didn't succumb. His willpower is too strong. He understands when he's being played, and he did not succumb to those advances by a guy or a dude. But we have one more clip here from Wednesday. Short one. This is when I think he did an extended show today with Tim Dillon.
My bladder's about to bust. Can I just run pee and I'll come right back? We're in the year 2050. Wink, wink. You fart in Israel, they'll shoot a missile up your ass.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. He likes to do the winky, winky all the time now. So.
Winky, winky. Wink, wink.
He's got a lot of them. Oh, boy, people. There are your Alex Jones clips of the week. We have, like I said, a lot of stuff coming up on today's show. I'll just kind of go over a little bit of it. I do have an article that does mention Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon has, I guess, been reported to say some stuff about Austin. A lot of comedians that followed Joe Rogan out to Texas, at least according to this article, are regretting their moves, or they're looking fondly back at their time in L.A., and at least according to the article. We'll dissect it, but they're not saying the nicest things about Austin. But
Austin is not Texas, if that's what they were expecting.
They all moved to Austin. It's like there's plenty of places to go, you know? But we'll dissect that article. I will be talking about the moon coming up here. I did threaten that on Saturday.
Alex said the moon is made of cheese.
Well, we're going to talk about what the moon is, who may be there, and a lot of bizarre things surrounding the moon. We did mention on the last show there was that weird clip that came out where Elon Musk, or someone told him that Elon Musk said that the moon landings were an historical anomaly. And I found it to be interesting, and I've been diving into a number of different books revolving around NASA, the moon, and just the weird space program, occult-like things around rocketry. So we'll cover that, and I do have some moon videos I want to play, some moon anomalies. So we'll start right there.
Moon videos.
Yeah, moon videos, Cratchit. You know, there's...
Well, I was going to say, before you get to the moon videos,
yeah,
I dropped a link in Carrot Shop.
Okay.
you may want to give that a run.
Missing 411 the musical. By the way, for people who were on the pre-show, we do a live show, people, and usually 5 minutes before the show, play some music. We'll talk, we'll banter, and before this pre-show, I performed by pressing a button and played my version of Missing 411 the musical. I was inspired after Stan from Alaska sent me his lyrics about Missing 411, and I took them, I reworked them, I used some of the elements from it, but it wasn't musical enough for me, so I punched it up. Cratchit, he heard what I did. I don't think he liked what I did. And
no. This is so I did the grunge. This is the grunge song I did like 2 months ago.
Okay, so here's Missing 411.
Now it's as a musical.
Okay, here's the musical version.
He packs up his maps, boots laced tight, coffee in hand, and 1,000-yard sight. They vanished from trails, from camps, from thin air. No prints, no trace, just a backpack and prayer. Calls to the forest, whispers through trees. Some say it's Bigfoot, some blame the deep freeze. But he ain't got time for no bedtime myths. He's seen the patterns in those government lists. It's Missing 411, another soul gone cold. They say nature's cruel, but the stories don't hold. He said, well, damn, we really hit the glory hole on that one. Another file closed with a shrug and a yawn. He's chasing the lost till the break of the dawn.
I gotta say, yours is a little bit more Meatloaf inspired than mine. Mine, I think, is pretty damn good. I'll just. This is like I'm dropping it at 30 seconds in. Mine's grandiose. Listen.
Candy wrap, but he vanished off the map.
This is mine.
Bobby, he heard no sound. He wandered off, never found. Years later,
Could be in the same musical.
they really are the same musical if you think about it. So.
No, I think the issue I had with what you played at the pre-show was it didn't have Politis pronounced correctly.
David Politis.
Yeah, not that.
Yeah.
Folks, pay close attention.
Well, I will play Cratchit's Missing 411 musical after mine at the end of the show. Okay, then we'll let the audience decide
back-to-back musical nonsense.
Which one we're going to submit to David Politis to see if we can get this musical finally into production after 5 years of talking about it. We finally have the music. We have the talent now. So this is the malarkey on the show, and I think people like it. But thank you, Cratchit.
Some like it, some really, really do not.
Yeah, they're
squiggly wiggly.
Those people are squiggly.
Yeah, they are. So we're gonna let's cleanse the pound here. Let's talk about the moon a little bit. Let's take a look at some moon videos and listen to some moon stuff, and I'll talk about the moon. So first things first, I'm going to replay this from the Joe Rogan experience, and he's having quite the experience over there. He's having just an amazing amount of time on his own podcast, interviewing people. He is the biggest show ever, the biggest podcast ever. Mm-hmm. And we are going to play a little clip from his show. And I think Joe, I don't even know where he stands on the moon landings at this point. Does he believe that we went, or is he...
Joe is all in on the shitty tin can and aluminum foil duct tape thing that somehow got us through the Van Allen belt and didn't cook any astronauts.
Okay. I'm casually there with them. Like, I'm in the background, nodding my head. Like, this is a possibility. But I will play this. This is... I'm not sure who this goofball is, but I'll bring him up on screen. We can all look at this goofball together. And it's just a quick minute and a half clip. Here we go.
Because Elon Musk is a smart guy. He says it's going to take 9 fuel trips
in order to have
See if
enough
you can
fuel.
find him saying that, Jamie. 8.
I'm glad they put
I'm
loud
sorry,
music
8.
over it.
8 fuel trips.
Pull up him saying that.
I think he's made it more efficient now. He's made bigger containers. So, now
So
it's
what do
only
people
8.
that are confronted by this information that wanted to refute it, what do they say?
Well, the college professor I talked to said even a confession from Buzz Aldrin that the moon missions were fake wouldn't dissuade him from the glorious moon landings. He would still think they were real anyway.
Elon Musk says it would take 8 Starship launches to fuel up a single moon trip. Elon Musk isn't entirely sure how many Starships it will take.
I would just for that's without creating a new rocket to create a new payload to create the amount of fuel they have to take. That's just what they already have.
Yeah, he said the moon landings were a historical anomaly, meaning they're out of place to have had greater technology in the past and in the future. I believe he knows that the moon missions are fake, but he needs cooperation with NASA to fulfill his dreams, and he's playing ball. I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is one of those subjects, and this is why so many people are reluctant to take it on. But if you even talk about the moon landing being fake or entertain a person like yourself that says this, you're automatically put in the category of being a fool. Right.
Isn't that interesting? If you believe the lie, you're intelligent, and if you believe the truth, you're a fool.
Yeah, fascinating little segment right there. I agree, Cratchit. That music needed to be louder in the background.
Mm-hmm. I could almost still hear Joe Rogan and his guest.
That's the last thing you want in a clip like that. You really want to feature that music. It's one of the worst things about social media, and there's a number of things. The music beds, number one annoyance right now for social media. Number 2 is clout chasing, but music beds, I really don't like those. So that was an interesting little clip right there. I will play some up on screen, so people watching right now, they'll be able to see this. People listening at home, I'll do my best to describe these videos that we're viewing. And these are just a bunch of different Twitter videos of possibly lunar anomalies, shadows going across the moon. We're talking about weird craters. We're talking about things flying right past the moon. Like this one is from 2023, a massive disc-shaped object motionless over the lunar crater. It casts a shadow, so it can't be a lens artifact. Then it shoots off at an impossible speed. Even in slow-mo, it's gone in the blink of an eye. And yeah, you see this thing in the lower right hand of the video and just kind of zooms right past. And I guess people could say it's an asteroid. It's a meteor. I know Mick West would probably say that it's a balloon. He uses
it's a Chinese balloon.
It's a Chinese space balloon. I'm sure that's what they're going to say. But then if we go down even further from 2023, again, another German high-powered telescope. They see this time we see.
What's doing with all this stuff? They're looking at the Nazi moon bases.
Possibly. We'll get to that. So this time we see a glowing red orb that cruises over the moon's north pole and casts a perfect shadow on the surface. And yeah, I mean, we see this. There's like a red light, and it is hovering over the moon. It does appear as though there is some light being reflected off the moon, and then this thing just vanishes. And there are countless other videos like this of these weird lunar anomalies. And there have been reports, even going back to the 1800s, of weird flashes being seen on the moon. They tried to explain it away. They don't even explain it away. The scientific community acknowledges that these weird flashes have been happening on the moon since the late 1800s, and they don't really have any legitimate explanation for it. They just will call it anomalous and persistent. It's persistent anomalous stuff.
And shut up, stop asking so many questions.
Yeah, I mean, they'll blame it on maybe water crystals and the sunlight reflecting off of strange rocks or crystals and swamp gas, all this stuff. But people are filming stuff, and this has been happening for decades at this point, and weird things have been occurring, and we're not being told what really is going on. What's going on with the moon? Who's there? Have we been there? Why haven't we been back? And all these different things. And that's why I decided to peruse a number of books related to NASA and the moon. So I'll put a link for this series of videos in the podcast description. If you guys want to check out these videos, they're pretty fascinating. You can watch with your family, and you can ask them their opinion of what they're seeing with these weird lunar anomalies.
Yeah. Next time the kids want to watch, the new streaming thing on Netflix or Disney or whatever, have them watch this instead.
Yeah. You want to go see the new Superman movie? No. We're watching Lunar Anomalies, okay?
Look at this weird stuff on the moon. What is that?
Yeah. No, kids. You're going to sit down with old dad and mom, and we're going to watch some...
Dad has the remote. You're watching.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, what is that? Look at that. I got a bunch of these.
And by the way,
queued up.
The new Superman movie, I give it a C+, B-, okay?
I look forward to watching part of it on an airplane.
Yeah. It's... I saw it like opening weekend, and it was so lackluster and disappointing that I didn't even mention it because it's kind of pointless.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Well, so the books that I'm going to talk about here and have jammed together, crammed them all together to try to give people like a once-over on what may be going on with the moon. The first book that I looked at is a book called Who Built the Moon by Christopher Knight. So this book focuses on...
Guy from the Brady Bunch?
It could be. I think so. Maybe it could be.
Name wrong?
Yeah, Christopher Knight. It may be. I didn't know he was such a big moon guy, but he is. So this book focuses on that the moon is likely an artifact. It's an artificial construction placed deliberately in Earth's orbit. It goes over like mathematical and astronomical anomalies and things like that. It goes into like, it's there. It didn't just get captured by Earth. It was placed there. The second book that is included in these talks here is a book called Dark Mission. And this is the secret history of NASA, done by, and this is told by Richard C. Hoagland, which you might know from Art Bell fame, along with Mike Barra. And this goes over some weird NASA stuff. It talks about like Masonic influences on NASA, weird Egyptian symbology, and some other ritualistic things that have happened within the entire NASA program. We all know about Werner von Braun. There's some darker stuff going on there. And then the other books that I'm talking about is Dark Fleet, The Secret Nazi Space Program, and The Battle for the Solar System. This one goes pretty far out there, people. This is about the secret Nazi space fleet that survived World War II and formed an alliance with an ET race. And then the last book is a book called Sex and Rockets, The Occult World of Jack Parsons. And that was by John Carter and focuses on Jack Parsons, who co-founded JPL while simultaneously practicing Aleister Crowley magic and doing dark rituals in order to help his rocketry program. So this is some weird, wild stuff, people. Weird stuff, okay?
And that last one you said was by John Carter. I assume it's the same John Carter of Barsoom.
Absolutely. You're nailing this 100%.
He's an expert on space.
Okay, so let's go over first of all some weird lunar. You can call them facts at this point. These are facts, people. That the moon is a weird thing. First, it is placed in a perfect eclipse alignment, so the moon's apparent size precisely matches the sun. So it is 400 times smaller. And 400 times closer, so it fits right over the sun during full eclipses, which is pretty incredible because I think there's no other place on in our solar system that happens where you're standing on a planet, you look up, and the moon perfectly covers it. So that's pretty strange right there. It does.
Is that true?
I think so. You can look that up. I was doing a lot of looking into this. I was looking into this quite a bit. So then. According to the NASA astronauts and NASA themselves, that the moon rings for hours after seismic events, suggesting unusual internal structures to the moon or potential hollowness or large cavernous areas, which is very weird. Isn't
there the famous quote that the moon rang like a bell?
Correct, yeah.
NASA?
Yeah. So the far side of the moon is noticeably thicker. It's got a thicker crust on that far side compared to the near side. So keep that in mind, people.
So the near side is thin crust.
Yes, that's correct. So it's got a little bit of something for everyone. Yeah, so, all right. Yeah, and that's pizza jokes, people, okay? Doing a little pizza joke. But
I'll shut up and let you.
No, that's all right. Interject as often as you want. So when it comes to like the probability, the probability when it comes to perfect alignment, we're talking about Bell resonance, meaning that there is hollowness or very large cavernous areas. There's a far side dichotomy, the thick versus the thin crust. And then the tidal lock, which is not that rare. So having a moon that is tidally locked to a planet is not that rare within our solar system. But if you take all those into some sort of calculation, the probability that it just happens to be there looks to be about 1 in 2 million is like the probability that it just naturally occurs if you take all those factors into consideration. So, okay, is it artificially constructed, or has it been moved into orbit, or has it been manipulated? Possibly. It possibly has been. And so when it comes to, like, okay, where did this thing come from? Okay, it's been in the sky for as long as mankind supposedly has existed. I know there are stories that people claim that are pre-lunar stories from mankind, that they're claimed to be the writings from humans that claim to look up at the sky and not see the moon, but I don't know if there's been verified, but who knows. But as for like theories about the moon, so some people hypothesize that, and this is basically in the book, Who Built the Moon, they propose that the moon is engineered and was placed intentionally in orbit by advanced extraterrestrial beings to stabilize Earth's climate and life's cycle. So, yeah, our world would be vastly different if we didn't have that moon. Those tides, Cratchit, those waves, we like those things. It makes a good atmosphere for our Earth. It also helps deflect, asteroids and all that kind of stuff.
The moon's gravity deflects a lot of stuff coming towards Earth. So
yeah,
it kind of acts as a bit of a defense shield.
Yeah.
So maybe someone did put it there.
And I don't know if the movie Moonfall went into this, but there's a movie that came out called Moonfall, I believe in 2022, that kind of went into some of these conspiracy theories. It was a big blockbuster that was fairly reminiscent of Independence Day in how grandiose it was, but it failed to deliver the characters that we know and love from that movie. So, but you can check it out. It's a fun little romp. So the other theory is that it is the moon is an alien artifact. So the book Dark Mission argues that the moon contains hidden runes, crystalline towers, and remnants of an ancient alien civilization that has been deliberately suppressed by NASA. And those people have photos out there claiming that, there's a giant bridge or a dome on the moon and monoliths on the moon. There's been various photos, of course, extremely low res, but there has been some interesting pictures that have come out. And other people say that the moon is a psychic manipulation device. And you can probably attribute this to people that follow David Icke. So people of that ilk, they think that the moon affects human consciousness, behavior, fertility, and spiritual energies, suggesting purposeful manipulation by external intelligences. And in the book Dark Fleet that I mentioned, so Dark Fleet suggests that the moon houses deep subterranean bases controlled by non-human entities, specifically the reptilians, and they're conducting secretive operations on the moon that are not too good for us humans. So we have like 4 possibilities there according to the sources we're using. All of them are not saying it's just a big random rock in the sky. They're all suggesting, and there's more to the story here. So, but to get to some of the occult connections, we talked about the occult last time on the show when we talked about Iran accusing Israel and the United States of using the occult to conjure genies in the use of espionage and warfare against Iran. And in our assessment, Mossad did not deny that. So, and it does seem like it's common knowledge that occult practices, or at least the rituals and symbols, seem to be used throughout most Western governments. And so to go to the book Sex and Rockets that is about Jack Parsons. So Parsons, key founder of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And he was a disciple of Aleister Crowley. He was heavily involved in thematic and other types of like dark ritual magic. That includes sex magic as well. And so there's other occult connections too. So there's Masonic symbolism in NASA missions as well. So astronaut Buzz Aldrin supposedly performed rituals on the lunar surface, the Apollo program. Its emblem encoded ancient Egyptian symbolism, specifically Osiris and Isis. And if you remember, Cratchit, I think a couple years ago, we went over the proposed patches for, was it Space Force? Or no, there was some weird, I forget what one that was. But
Oh, yeah, they had all the octopuses and people like throwing spears at the moon.
Swords and like weird patches like that. Yeah, it's like, what is this all about? And so it's a common theme throughout, like, at least our government, NASA, is putting these weird symbols into everything. And so when it comes to like this weird symbolism with NASA missions and timings and locations, so Apollo 11, the first moon landing, supposedly, if we're going by the official narrative, was July 20th, 1969. The timing and alignment, Sirius, representing the Egyptian goddess Isis, and Regulus, symbolizing Horus, were deliberately positioned at the ritualistic angle of 19.5 above and below the lunar horizon at key moments of the mission, landing and communication ritual by then Buzz Aldrin. So what were those supposed rituals that Buzz performed on the lunar surface? Well, he took a Masonic apron and a flag from the Supreme Council of the Southern Jurisdiction to the moon. So the Southern Jurisdiction of the Masonic Lodge, he took it to the moon. After returning to Earth, he reportedly presented these items in a formal ceremony to Luther A. Smith, the Sovereign Grand Commander of the Scottish Rite of the Southern Jurisdiction. Like, hey, look, I took this to the moon. I brought it back to you as some big Masonic ritual, not as though an American landed on the moon, but as though a Freemason was the first to land on the moon. And I believe that maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but at the time, wasn't there controversy over who was going to be the first person to step out onto the moon? Was it going to be someone of military background or civilian background? I don't know if there.
I thought they flipped a coin.
Was that as simple as what it was?
Who left the most uneaten Subway sandwich?
That's fair. Okay.
Michael Collins was busy chowing down, and Aldrin leapt past him out the door.
Yeah, I thought there was some controversy over whether or not a military man was going to step foot on the moon first or a civilian. So, okay.
Neil Armstrong fooled them all. He was hanging on the outside on the way down.
So, when Aldrin performed the communion ceremony on the moon, which publicly was said to be a Christian ceremony, but based on Masonic interpretations and the context provided in the book here. This act may have been a ritual homage to Isis and Osiris. So when you have all these ceremonies and they were conducted 33 minutes after the landing, at the time when Sirius was at that right position of 19.5 degrees above the lunar horizon, people are reading into it. It's like, I don't know. You said this is Christian, but you're doing a lot of Masonic things up there, dude. So, okay. So there's this, beyond like the lunar Masonic rituals, we talked about the Apollo patches that all had weird kind of Egyptian symbology going on there. And then we have Jack Parsons, which is the founder of JPL. Jack Parsons was deep into his magic. He performed various like rituals, specifically using something called the air dagger. And this air dagger was to help empower him and his work that he was doing. And not only was like Parsons like really into, like, he's a smart dude, obviously. He's in the rockets, able to do math. He was a math guy. And but he was also a follower, and I think he's kind of friendly with L. Ron Hubbard. So you have like the connection of Parsons, L. Ron Hubbard, Crowley, and then Parsons doing all this weird occult stuff while working on rockets, and it's just a weird thing. So the air dagger. So the air dagger is a talisman that Parsons used. Parsons purchased and constructed an actual dagger specifically for Babylon working. So he was basically trying to summon Babylonian, I believe, spirits or deities to help him with this specific rocketry work. So in ceremonial magic, as taught by Aleister Crowley, the dagger is associated with the element of air, intellect, and communication. Parsons prepared and constructed the dagger based upon the instructions from the magical system he was using, derived from the works of John Dee and Edward Kelly. So he was into all this weird stuff and was working on rockets that were in designs that were probably then used by NASA. And NASA at that time, as we know, Cratchit was headed up by Werner von Braun. So, all these weird things are happening. And it was just a crazy time, 50s, 60s, and 70s, when when NASA was really in full swing. They were the astronauts were pretty much like superheroes at that point. They were doing stuff that were unimaginable decades before. They were larger than life celebrities. Everyone wanted to talk to them after they'd been up in space. They were just complete worldwide icons. And I think to a certain degree they leaned into it. But if you watched some of the conferences of when they returned, they seemed to kind of be a little tight-lipped as soon as they returned. But they did wind up doing a lot of interviews after they got off the moon. You got to give them a few weeks to decompress, I suppose. Okay, let's get into some weirder stuff. So NASA. There's some dark rituals going on there. They launch rockets at particular times. They have weird patches, all that kind of stuff. We'll move on. We'll assume that they're just deep into the occult. It seems to work for them, and they're not going to break a system that is not working for them. So where does that leave the moon? And what is going on there? There have what are these objects that we saw going over the lunar surface? Is it NASA? It doesn't appear to be. Not unless they're not telling us about a secret space program, which is a possibility. But where's that money coming from? And are these NASA astronauts up there? Well, there's a couple possibilities to this. So, number one, according to the books, there is a possibility that what's really going on, what's flying around the moon right now, is something called the Dark Fleet or the Fourth Reich. These are ex-Nazis who survived World War II, escaped to Antarctica at base 211, and that's where they moved all their awesome technology to. They built up their military and essentially formed a breakaway civilization with their alliance with the reptilians. This is according to the book Dark Fleet. So their unholy alliance with the reptilians allowed them superior technology and gave them a base of operations down in Antarctica to operate from, and also on the moon. So they not only do they operate out of Antarctica, but it's also rumored they operate on the moon itself in bases on the moon. So they're known for their black uniforms, brutal discipline, and Nazi-style authoritarian structure, which seems to work for them. They're highly aggressive. They claim to be expansionists, often working outside the solar system with the reptilians, and they engage in some pretty weird behavior. They use a form of technology called soul transfer cloning. It's trauma-based conditioning and advanced mind control. They use all that in order to maintain control over their Fourth Reich. The second option, and this also could happen in tandem, is that we're seeing up in there is something called Solar Warden. You ever heard of a Solar Warden before, Cratchit?
Rings a bell. Tell me all about it.
So Solar Warden is supposedly the good guys, developed under United States Naval Space Command, allegedly in cooperation with the UK, Canada, and Italy. They operate under secret mandates from both the United States government and the United Nations. So they have flight capabilities. They have giant, massive cigar-shaped ships, space stations, and planetary bases. The craft are armed with a wide variety of weapons. The bases are reportedly, they exist on like 6 different planets, and it's probably what Gary McKinnon accidentally stumbled into. So Gary McKinnon, the UK hacker that got into NASA servers, he stumbled across transfers between Marines, like non-terrestrial Marines, and it's quite possible that he stumbled into something akin to Solar Warden. Then the third option is that there's an interplanetary corporate conglomerate that has basically a breakaway civilization or a secret space program. These corporations involve Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, but you also have the big pharma guys like Pfizer, Bayer, and Merck also involved in there. And you throw in J.P. Morgan Chase and the Rand Corporation. They're all the corporate conglomerate. They all pool funds and resources in order to have their own dark fleet or their own secret space program up there that are flying along, not telling any of us about it, and basically outside the jurisdiction of the government. They're basically saying, to hell with the United States, to hell with everyone else. We're doing our own thing. And that's it. So all these books, they come at the what is going on the moon angle in different ways. Dark Fleet gets pretty serious with the reptilian overlord theory. The who built the moon does remain that it's an artificial construct. Like in the Dark Fleet book, it goes into soul transfer technology. Like they understand how to transfer your consciousness into another body. And that kind of speaks to the 20 and back scenario that a lot of people claim to have been super soldiers sent out on a mission for 20 years, and then their consciousness and soul are transferred to another younger body. And that's been told by a lot of different people. So it is a murky world out there. And I did my best to try to dirty it up even more with all those different things. And literally, like each one of these topics that I went over could be its own 2-hour show, just going into the dark fleet, going into its soul transferring technology, its control over the entire Earth using AI structures and nanotechnologies. It's crazy. Or going into the sex magic that Parsons did. It's just a wild, weird world of all this stuff. So I tried to take notes as best I could, but it's just, like I said, people, there's just too much. So, all right, that's what I got, Cratchit. If you have any questions, I can talk about this for another 3 hours easily, but I'm not going to. We have much more things to get to.
I can't find the article that we used a couple of years ago on those occult patches. I did find another one if you want to go through some of those.
I'm pretty. Yeah, I would like to. Yeah.
There's I'm looking for the same link I had before, which had better images and different ones in there. But here's some of them anyway.
Yeah, I think I put up a YouTube video on that those weird patches.
Good, maybe that has the link in it.
So yeah, here are the top 10 most sinister psyops mission patches. Where's number 1? Oh, so yeah, number 10, alien face. So 10-cap is an acronym for tactical exploitation of national capabilities, and it's got an alien gray head on the patch. That's crazy. Leaning into it. Then number 9, all your bases belong to us. This is a giant angry dragon clutching the planet, bringing destruction from space. Yeah, that's a positive image you want to have on your jacket. Number 8 is the Hymn to Pan. The Pan satellite was launched in September 2009 and is so top secret that no military or governmental organization claimed to have built it. Okay, well, what does it do? Can we claim it then? Let's see here. According to the patch, PAN stands for Palladium at Night. Palladium being a silver-white metallic element that is probably present in the satellite. The mission is so secret, however, that it is jokingly said that the name PAN actually stands for pick a name. Okay. Yeah, but okay. Then it goes on to here. Jack Parsons, a pioneer of the American space propulsion, who is often credited for having propelled the United States into the space age, was also a notorious occultist. He was a prominent member of the Ordo Tempi and the Occult Secret Society popularized by Aleister Crowley. Seeing no separation between his professional and his occult work, Parsons was known to chant Crowley's poem entitled Hymn to Pan before each test rocket launch. So there you go. Okay. It all comes around. And then we have Super Sumus, which is got the pyramid with the all-seeing eye with rocket on the left side. Then we have another one. This is creepy. Yeah, the 23D Space Operations SQ, which has a creepy one eye, like a cyclops in the background overlooking the Earth. And then look at this. This is number 5. It's pretty regal. The grid. It just has this is I think the most benign. It's got like a knight in full plate armor with a sword, but the Earth is gridded up. So that doesn't look very promising. I guess this the Defenders of the Domain is a subgroup of the NSA. Okay, and then we have number 4, the NRO Snakes. It's pretty cool, but it's still kind of weird. And number 3, it's just black. It's just a black patch. That's all it is. Let's see here. So this patch was
the black. Yeah, the black patch. In Latin, it means I could tell you, but then I have to kill you.
Its patch was designed for as a generic insignia for black projects conducted by the Navy's Air Test and Evaluation Squadron. Okay. So it's not, it's just black. And then number 2, Get your kicks on 66. The Minotaur program, it has like a Minotaur with its lower body being a rocket boost stage, so it's flames coming out. And then it's got a very cartoonish globe with America flag over the top of it. So the Minotaur program is composed of top-secret NRO spy satellites launching missions. Minotaurs are bull-headed creatures from Greek mythology that are always angry, violent, and merciless. Yes, that's nice. And then what's the number one?
They live in a labyrinth. They can't get out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. And number one is the Devil You Know. And what we're looking at here is some black bird, probably the Phoenix, erupted in with flames below it. So this patch is for the NROL49, depicts a phoenix rising from flames with the flag of the United States in the background. The Latin words, Melior Dialabus. I'm not going to pronounce. There's some weird language I'm not going to pronounce right now. Okay.
Yes. It translates to the devil you know.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I should have known that, but I did not know that.
Because I like words. I'm kind of a wordsmith guy.
Yeah, me too. Okay, yeah, some weird stuff. It's tough to know if they're really embracing the occult symbology here or they're just having fun. You know, it's tough to know.
Probably a little bit of both, honestly.
Maybe.
I did find the original link that we covered this in depth about 3 years ago, and I dropped that in Carrot Shop if you want to cover any of those. But
these are some of the the best patches right here that we went over. Like some are like, yes, kind of goofy and stupid, but some of them are just next level, like bonkers. I'm trying to find my favorite one where there's like this weird, ominous, dark figure with a sword. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah, right here. This is my favorite. It's like some big
number 6 there.
Number 6, Space Delta 9. It's got like an ogre with this sword, and this ogre, it means business.
I'd say maybe a Titan. He's standing over the earth.
All right. I went with ogre. You say Titan. Could be just a barbarian too, but it's weird. Yeah.
Look at that guy.
They're doing stuff. They're doing sex magic. They have dark fleets. We're not being told everything. So, all right, we are going to move on, people. Right now, we're going to talk about some other stuff. We got a big story right now, a big story of regret and shame. Oh, yes, regret and shame. It's coming up right now, people.
Huh.
Yes. Oh, yes. Here's the headline here. Conservative stars now regret leaving California to follow Joe Rogan to Texas. Quote, it's no Los Angeles.
Okay.
I don't buy, just on the face of it, I don't buy this story.
Yeah, we'll find out. This comes from the Daily Mail. So we're going to find out. More and more conservative stars are beginning to turn on Texas after leaving New York and California. Joe Rogan was the first big star to make the move. Well, no, Adam Curry was. I remember.
I think there were many others who moved to Texas prior to Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Right.
Joe Rogan was the first big star to make the move, with the podcasting titan fleeing Los Angeles and moving his family into a $14 million mansion in Austin in 2020. Many of Rogan's comedian pals enthusiastically followed him there, only to deeply regret their decision after arriving.
Right.
Okay.
Tim Dillon was the first to jump ship, with the Thanksgiving star fleeing Austin after just a few months in the Lone Star State. Dillon had followed Rogan to Austin in 2020, only to make an emergency exit by the end of the year after discovering that the city didn't have enough good restaurants.
Yeah.
Okay. You can open up a restaurant too. I know it's a lot of work, but you can do it. Like places don't get better until you try to make them better. But
you're telling me in a few months he went to every top-rated restaurant in Austin.
He went to Taco Bell a lot. We know it. It's Tim Dillon.
Right.
He's not going to like these healthy places. He hasn't lost 1 pound since I started watching him. He's getting worse.
There's all these awesome restaurants.
Okay.
It's 5-star breakfast.
He goes on to say, quote, it's a horrible city without a soul, he told fellow comedian Whitney Cummings when describing his stint in Austin. It's not the live music capital of America. It's 3 heroin addicts busking with guitars. There's zero talent here in any capacity, he raged. I wonder if he was joking about that. He could have been joking, but
yeah, okay.
There's 3 restaurants that are good, and I've been to them all twice.
This sounds like he's doing a bit.
Sounds like he's hamming it up a little bit, but I guess I don't even know where Tim Dillon lives now. Is it known where he
lives
broadcast?
in beautiful downtown Albuquerque. I have no idea.
Yes.
In another interview, Dillon said that Austin can't be compared to New York or Los Angeles. Yeah, it's something different. Yeah, it can't be compared. People moved to Austin and or Texas because it wasn't those places, and I guess they lost sight of that? Yeah. He also told the 8th Street podcast that the city was filled with homeless people, had a sewage-colored lake, and most of the residents would get drunk and shoot each other for fun. That could be true.
Right.
Rogan's longtime friend and comedian and MMA star Brendan Schwab had also come to regret his move to Austin. The 42-year-old relocated his family to the city earlier this year, but he recently confessed on his Fighter and the Kid podcast that he was heartbroken about leaving Los Angeles and said he misses the city terribly. Quote, I miss my community and my routine, he admitted. He also shared a bleak story about meeting another Los Angeles transplant in Texas who warned him that it might take up to 3 years for him to acclimate to life in Austin. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
These are people who have never lived anywhere else. You've moved across the country.
Yeah.
It takes time, but it's like...
That's not bad.
You figure it out in a month or two. It's like, what is this 3 year shit?
The problem is these people don't work. If they're really if they're really that upset at Austin or Texas, they don't work. They have too much time on their hands to go out and explore restaurants. They're not doing anything with their lives of worth or merit, according, in my opinion.
You're not wrong, because if you think about it, okay, if I was in Austin, any new town, I'm in Oklahoma City, I'm in Minneapolis, I'm in Chicago, and I have time on my hands every day to kill, you're going to get bored pretty quick.
Yeah.
If you're not tied into either an existing social network, a social structure, a community network, if you're not tied into some sort of work environment, something that gives you structure and something you can do every day, if you're just farting around, then after 3 months, you're bored.
Yeah,
so take up a hobby. Go ride a bike.
That's what I was going to say. It doesn't sound like they have any hobbies. Like, Ohio may suck. Yes. And where I live, that also may suck. But I love my property, and I have things to do. I have chickens to take care of. I have a full-time job. I got goats. I got a great wife. The restaurants around here suck. Yeah, slim pickings when it comes to really good restaurants. But guess what? We make our own food at home most of the time, and overall, we have an excellent life. These people are complaining they don't have enough.
Yep. And, we covered that story 2 shows ago that the average, whatever that means, the average American family eats out 5 to 6 times a week.
Yeah. Tim Dillon eating out probably 10 times a week. Guaranteed. Lock it down. So it goes on to say, this is about Brendan Schwab. He said, Texas is great. Best decision I ever made. But, it's just no L.A. There's no replacing L.A., Brendan Schwab recalled. Comedian Shane Gillis, who is another one of Rogan's pals, also shared a similar sentiment. Gillis has repeatedly complained about the homeless situation in Austin, calling the drug-crazed vagrants in town screaming runners. Quote, Texas effing blows, he told comedian Andrew Solch while sharing a story about how the power in his Austin home went out for 3 days due to bad storms. Yeah, that does happen, yeah.
Huh. Oh, unlike L.A. where, they get earthquakes and shit, so.
Well, Shane, you got the money, buy a generator. as a backup. I don't make nearly what he does. I got a backup generator if I need it that will keep the AC on or the heater.
You snooty rich bastard.
You got to. Quote, it's hot as F. The second we ran out of power in the house, it was 90 degrees and bugs came in immediately. The house was filled with bugs.
In L.A., it fills with rats.
and homeless people, too, so take your pick.
They just come right in.
Gillis moved to Austin in 2023 because Texas has no income tax. Oh, he's a penny pincher, I see.
Well, California's income tax is fucking ridiculous.
He also wanted to be close to Rogan Stand-Up Club, the comedy mothership. Yes.
Well, he could do that by living, not in.
You don't have
Austin
to live
proper.
in Austin.
He could live in Texas.
Yeah. You can be in like 45 minutes out, maybe an hour out, and pretty good. These guys. They're
live in San Marcos.
They're a bunch of city slickers. You know what I'm talking? They're a bunch of goddamn city slickers.
That's probably also part of it, is they wanted to be in downtown. And Joe talked about that when they lived in Austin.
Yeah.
The downtown area was kind of ruined, not necessarily by the homeless people or drugs or any of that stuff, but by all the people moving into town and voting for the same crap that they were claiming to escape.
Yeah.
So he packed up and they moved to San Antonio. Says it's much nicer.
Yeah. Joe knows. Even celebrities with no connections to Rogan or the comedy scene have voiced regrets about moving to Texas. Male model Lucky Bluesmith and his influencer wife, Nara.
Lucky Blue? Is that the dude's name?
Lucky Blue Smith. Get it right or pay the price.
Blue Smith, like hyphenated Blue Smith?
No hyphen. Just Lucky Blue Smith.
Okay.
You got it? Okay. And his influencer wife, Nara, who is famous for her trad wife content, left Los Angeles in 2022 to move to Dallas. However, just within 2 years, the couple announced that they were leaving the city to live in Connecticut so they could be closer to New York. In a TikTok video, Nara said that living in Connecticut would allow the couple to own a large house where they could raise their family and still be closer to the bigger city for all the work that we do. What?
Well,
okay.
They're both models, right?
Yeah. But
so
like
New York makes sense. But, okay, so how many... This is the third example in this article?
Yeah, third or fourth.
And the article is people who moved to Austin from Los Angeles and moved back. Not only did these people not move to Austin, they moved to Dallas. They didn't move back, they moved to Connecticut.
Yeah.
So this article is falling apart already.
Disappointed!
I am disappointed, Kevin Sorbo.
Earlier this week, transgender conservative influencer Blair White announced that she was leaving Texas after 4 years to return to her home state of California. Okay, there's one, Cratchit. We got one going back. Okay. The 31-year-old fled her Hollywood home in 2021 amid rising homelessness and the state's tyrannical COVID policies to move to Austin. So why is she moving back? Yeah, because
they fixed all that. It's fixed.
It's like they still got the same leaders there. They still got the same crap.
Fine. It's fine. They got it.
Oh, it's all good now.
They're good.
Okay.
They're good, yeah. We're good.
However, she announced this week that she's ready to return to California after spending the last 4 years in Austin. Addressing the major life change in her YouTube video, the transgender social media star shared her surprising reason behind the shocking revelation and relocation.
What was the surprising reason?
I was born there, so it is home for better or worse, she said.
Okay.
There is a lot of problems with California, and a lot of people like to write off New York and California and say, just let them go overboard, let them burn. And I find that to be very un-American perspective to hold, she continued. California, in my opinion, is the most beautiful place in the world. Yes, I said world. And it's even more of a shame because it's run by demons. That's what Blair said.
And that's where I want to live.
I want to go live with the demons.
I like having a demon for a neighbor. They keep their yard clean. And they have delicious barbecue.
Possibly. Okay. That's a reason. Blair said that Los Angeles has now become ghetto and downtrodden. She explained that she wants to return to the City of Angels to help improve it. Oh, she's looking for a good housing deal. That's what it looks like. She's hoping that now that those fires are put out, you might be able to pick up some properties penny on a dollar, maybe. How about that?
Well, that they're going to build a bunch of low-income houses, and apparently they lost $100 million because they just can't find it.
Oh, well, that happens too. I mean, money just goes away.
It was just here. I put it somewhere.
Demon sperm.
Oh, there's plenty of demon sperm
that's what
in
they call
California.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, the city of demon sperm.
Demon sperm.
Is that Brian Williams?
Yes, it is.
Did somebody get Brian Williams to say that?
Yeah, that was after. This was during COVID, and
that was one of the original names for COVID. You're right.
No, this was Trump was interviewing and talking to various doctors, and some of them were African doctors. And they have different cultures in Africa. They believe in goblins and witchcraft and demon sperm. And she, I think, definitely believes that.
Demon sperm.
And so Brian Williams and NBC harped on it. They've harped on her belief system, even though she's a doctor. So, but back to Blair White here. Quote, I moved to Texas in the middle of COVID. So I moved to Texas in a crisis. The lockdowns weren't ending. So much trauma from that. So much craziness. So it was kind of like an evacuation, which I understand. I get it. I moved during COVID, too. I moved to Ohio. The YouTube star said that she's also eyeing a run for political office in the future and is excited to add her voice to California politics as a political commentator. Conservatives...
Well, it sounds like that's the real reason she relocated.
Job opportunities. So,
well, specifically politics. And if you want to get involved in politics somewhere, you want to live there for a while to kind of get your political campaign going.
Yeah.
Calm down. Don't be so crazy.
Yeah, sorry, Al.
Conservative social media star Mike Cernovich also has come out swinging against Austin. The MAGA influencer who is based in Orange County recently called the Texas city a total dump. All right. Austin was disgusting when I first went there in 2017 or so. I expected culture or whatever. It got so much hype. He posted on X, formerly Twitter. I was also looking forward to it. Total dump. There's like two blocks, a dirty river, flat land, and the streets where all the drunks go and try to kill each other.
Where's that?
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, put that on TV.
From the early 1800s to the 1960s, New York was the undisputed most populous state in America. California overtook New York in 1964 and has been the most crowded ever since. New York dropped back to third place in 1994 when Texas surged past it with 18.1 million people. Florida later surpassed the Empire State. So there you go. There's some options out there, people. So, I mean, it's a long article to kind of
this is a lot of work going into We Hate Austin, apparently.
Yeah.
Did they try to do a story on Austin, and they're like, no, we're not paying for that.
No.
They suck.
Yeah. Speaking of somebody who lives in Austin.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. The place is what you make it. These people live too close to the city, and yeah, it's not going to be the same. It ain't going to be the same. You're going to have
enough demon sperm.
You're going to have these problems no matter where you go. Are you used to dealing with these problems or not? I'm sure the people in L.A., they got used to dealing with those problems. They knew where not to go. They knew, okay, that street, definitely that's where drunks try to kill each other. We're not going down there.
It's a great street.
And so they got acclimated to it. The problem is they moved to Austin. It's the same problems, just in different locations, and probably not as many variety of food that Tim Dillon would like. And so they don't know how to navigate that.
Tim Dillon eats exclusively Tex-Mex Asian fusion vegan.
Yeah.
And there's only so many of those to go around.
It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the way it is. So good luck to them. You know, I think they're being babies.
Well, I'm going to be in Austin this fall, so I will go check out all the awesome restaurants.
Great. I look forward to it. Where's that place we like to? We always threaten to go in Arizona. Chachos. Yeah, Tim Dillon hasn't been to Chachos yet in San Antonio.
That's in San Antonio.
Yeah, we got to get down there. Mountain of cheese. The guy would eat that mountain of cheese.
It's worth the drive.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Okay. Some other headlines before we get to Cratchit here. It looks like Pam Bondi. She is meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. So that's happening.
I'm upset by this.
Well, was it the House of Representatives or the Senate who were like, you know what? We're just leaving.
Yeah.
We're not even going to talk about Epstein and all that shit.
Yep, we're storming off. We're stomping our feet. We're leaving. Then there's another article I have here, which I've been meaning to get to, but it asks the questions, could our whole entire universe be inside a black hole?
Okay.
Who put the moon there?
Which, I mean, I read through a little bit of it. This hypothesis might explain some anomalies they're picking up with some of their deep space telescopes, why things aren't where they think that they should be. So we could be living inside a black hole right now. I don't know about you, but the thought of that is very confining. And I don't like that. You want to stretch out. You don't want to be confined. It's very claustrophobic inside this black hole.
Oh, you're concerned they're limiting the amount of space you have.
Yes, it is. It's very, very claustrophobic now that I'm considering this. Another headline here I have that is a man with Down syndrome retires after 32 years at a Sydney's McDonald's. I saw this and I was like, damn, what? That is awesome. That this man with Down syndrome was able to work for 32 years and retire and probably not complain a day. You know, it was probably happy to go to work, probably did a damn good job for 32 years and was able to retire. So
they finally forced him out. Get him out of here.
Maybe they did, like, retire this asshole. But
he's messing up all our quotas.
Good for
Doing
him.
Too much.
Good for him. That's a feel-good story. I like that.
That was the thing. I don't know if you recall when you were growing up, that was kind of always the thing. McDonald's was a place where a lot of otherwise unemployable folks, you know, whether it was a mental condition or physically handicapped or something, they could always find a position there.
It's great
to be part of society.
I think it's great, and I wish McDonald's did more of that instead of trying to automate these jobs away. Lean into this, and this.
So you can go to a place nothing but kiosks and that guy.
I would take it. I tell you what, I think service is getting so horrible at restaurants now. We eat out, like I said, once or twice a week, and
5 or 6 times a week.
5-6 times a week, and I would say the majority of the time anymore, when we are interacting with the person, whether it's a wait staff or whoever, it tends to be lackluster. Either they'll forget our order, or like if we're taking getting a to-go order, like they'll forget to put all the food in there, or if we're sitting down, they'll they do that clever thing where they don't like to write down the orders. Like, oh, don't worry, I got it all up in my head, and they never do. They always come back to the table and ask us for our order for yet again when they just should have written it down. It's just like complete laziness out there, and I think.
Wait, at McDonald's they take your order at the table?
No, not McDonald's, just at restaurants in general.
Oh, okay. I was like, what kind of fancy ass McDonald's?
I was just talking about customer service in general. I was complaining. So
McDonald's got a maitre d'.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Reservations. We got the 6:30 table for 2 by the playpen.
Do you have an article about the Yeti blood oath?
I did see that one. Yeah, that the priests were doing, and now people are upset at that.
Yeah,
prank or not, knock that shit off.
We'll cover that maybe on Saturday, and then another one I'll cover on Saturday probably is that a group will try to summon a UFO in Scotland. It could be
at Bonnie Bridge.
I'm not going to reveal. You'll have to tune in Saturday to find out.
So you're saying they got to pump their numbers up.
Yeah, tune in Saturday to find out if this group of UFO enthusiasts will be summoning a UFO at the famous Bonnie Bridge.
Please tell me it's the next village over trying to fight back. We're the most visited site.
As we learned, Bonnie Bridge is actually part of a triangle of terror in Scotland where UFOs appear and disappear and various weird paranormal activity does happen. So, okay. And then
go ahead.
I did have one more. It comes a couple strange headlines, but I'm not going to step on your dick over there.
Well, You are welcome to stand on my tallywhacker.
All right.
Hey, do you want to cover Ozzy Osbourne?
Sure. You got an article on it?
I do.
Okay.
I figured this would be your beat.
I didn't touch it.
I am now walking on your crank.
Here we go.
That's great, Bob.
It's not weird news, but we did talk about his final. Well, we talked about his final concert, his farewell concert, I guess, several months ago. Then we talked about the concert itself, and then we talked about it after the fact. That seemed to be pretty well received.
Yeah, I guess this is.
And now, unfortunately, it was his final concert.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne dies just weeks after farewell show.
Daddy's doing these fucking. You better get down.
Yep.
Last words.
When I heard the news, I was shocked. My wife told me after she found out from her guitar player. I was shocked, but then I was filled with joy because think about Ozzy Osbourne. He got to play his last show not but a few weeks ago, and he did pretty good. It was a great send-off. He also got to see a lot of his former bandmates, his friends. And I posted this on Twitter. It was almost as if Ozzy said, thank you and good night. Like, what an amazing send-off to this absolute rock and roll legend. He and Black Sabbath spawned basically a new genre of music, stoner or doom metal. An absolute icon. He goes past everything more than just a rock star. He's a brand, a television personality, just an overall force of nature on pop culture for the past 40, 50 years. Yeah, but heavy metal star Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76, just weeks after reuniting with his Black Sabbath bandmates and performing a huge farewell concert for fans. It's almost like he just stuck around just for the show. And after the show,
I was going to say, he either was in really ill health or he had something go wrong in the last week or two. But I'm just glad he went out on a high note. No pun intended.
Well, it's been rumored that since 2020, since he got that COVID vaccine, that's where his health really started to take a tumble. Where he had blood clots, he wasn't feeling well. He never quite recovered from the COVID stuff. That's just what the rumor is.
Neurological. Nervous system issue, because he even 10 years ago he occasionally would be in a wheelchair because he had trouble with, like, I think it was his knees or his hips or something. It was like nerves in his legs. He had trouble getting around.
Yeah.
Fucking, I was going to try and get it into the show.
Yeah.
That's what he said about it at the time.
In a statement, his family said, "It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love."
Where's Mom?
Did he say, where's Mom?
Yeah, he said, where's Mom?
Where's Mom?
We have somebody else saying that.
We do have another old doddering person saying, where's Mom?
Mom, is she here?
Yeah.
Where's Tim? By the way, where's Mom?
Tim moved back to L.A. Not enough good restaurants.
Yeah, he got out.
Where's Mom?
As he performed from a throne on stage at the Villa Park less than 3 weeks ago, Osbourne told 42,000 fans, "You have no idea how I feel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart." The gig was put together with performances from some of his favorite acts, including Metallica, Guns N' Roses, for the star's final bow. Yeah, it's I would be more sad, but like I said, he went out on a high note, and he left his mark, and he got to see all his friends and family before he got to pass on. So there's a lot of controversy on Twitter over this. A lot of people calling Ozzy a devil worshiper and calling him satanic and all of that. Like, I can see that, but I don't believe that he was. And I remember the satanic panic when it happened. My parents barged into my older brother's room, and they held up the Ozzy tape that we had, Bloodbath in Paradise and Ultimate Sin, and they read through the lyrics and all that stuff and wondering if their sons, Midnight Mike and Midnight Jim, who's my older brother, if we were satanic worshipers, and we had to tell my parents that we, in fact, did not worship Satan. No.
But you guys did go down in the sewers and play Dungeons and Dragons.
We did do that. Yeah, we did play D&D as my mom taught us how to play, but we were not devil worshippers. And
you have spells you can fly.
And there was a lot of songs. Ozzy didn't write all the lyrics. Like on Ultimate Sin, I think Jake E. Lee, the guitar player, he wrote a good chunk of the lyrics, although he was never credited for the lyrics. And a lot of times, believe this or not, people, rock stars put on personas and do wacky things for attention, whether it is to act satanic or evil or to be outrageous and crazy. So I didn't buy into that. He was a full-fledged Satan worshiper. So, and look, he's wearing a cross right there in this picture right here, with next to Iommi and Butler right there. So. Yeah, they wore crosses a lot back in the day in Sabbath. So I never bought into that they were full on, Lords of the Dark Ones. They weren't Aleister Crowley. In fact, the song that Ozzy sings about Crowley, I think it's anti-Crowley. I don't think that he's trying to, promote him.
Mr. Crowley, won't you ride my white horse?
I think it's talking about the darkness of Crowley, not like you should follow him. So, all right, yeah, it's sad, Cratchit, very sad. Boy, okay.
Well, I didn't mean to bring you down. I just figured you would have covered that.
It's just so sad, but his music lives on and will continue to live on for a very long time. So. I feel bad for his family. I really do. So, all right, Cratchit, let's see what other kind of cheerful news you have over there.
All right.
For everyone.
Give me back my son!
Oh, let's see.
We're all getting killed here.
We are all getting killed here. I got a dating app for pedophiles. I don't know about that one.
Oh, I don't think you should download that one.
Oh, here we go. I got a moon story.
Oh.
And is the title here is a Heinlein reference, which is why I saw it. I think it's a Heinlein reference. What caught my eye. There we go.
Moon news. Okay. Dennis Hope, the man who sold the moon.
This is what I want. This is what I need.
Can he sell the moon? We'll find out. We will find out.
The Heinlein story about that was a guy who basically said, or basically determined where the moon physically orbited over the Earth, and then he bought all the land under that. And the agreement being he owned everything directly above that, so now he owns the moon.
Yeah, people in the chat are going into like the Ozzy stuff real quick. Like, listen, if you go like read about Sharon Osbourne and her dad and connections, it's like mob stuff. Okay, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Ozzy and his musical legacy. Black Sabbath, people. Black Sabbath 4. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, Dennis Hope, the man who sold the moon. We might not be able to live on the moon yet, but thank God we can at least buy land on the moon. Yes, you read that right. You can buy lunar properties from an American man and be the proud owner of land on the moon. All right.
Let's do it.
I live right next to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
This dude, he will not maintain that fence.
So what if you can't afford to buy a house in your own country? At least you can buy land on the moon, even Mars. And if that's, you can get it at the low cost of about $35. Well, I mean, how much does $35 buy me on the moon, really?
Let's find out.
But this is no joke. Dennis Hope, an American man, is the self-proclaimed owner of the moon. Let's have a look at the story and how he sold the moon. Who is Dennis Hope? Dennis Hope is a self-proclaimed American entrepreneur and a former car salesman. All right, that's the kind of guy I want selling the moon. As he has been selling land on the moon since 1980, claiming to be the owner of the moon. He is the owner of the Lunar Embassy. That's what he calls his business, a company that sells plots of land on the moon. Considering what's been going on in the world in the last decade, This seems pretty normal, to be honest. But how did this man come to sell lunar properties? The story is equally fascinating and filled with humor. People, be prepared to laugh. It all began in 1980 when Hope believed that there was a loophole in the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, which says no nation by appropriation shall have sovereignty or control over any of these satellite bodies. He interpreted that private citizens can lay claim to the moon. A declaration of ownership was filed with the United Nations as well as the U.S. and Russian governments in 1980 by Mr. Dennis M. Hope. This made Dennis M. Hope almost famous as the owner of the moon. He even sold lunar properties to former U.S. presidents and Hollywood celebrities like Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks. Okay,
so that's where they're going. They don't go to the island anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we might have an Epstein space base is what we're talking about. Which, if you read The Dark Fleet, not far off, okay? Since its inception, the man claims to have sold more than 611 million acres of land on the moon, as well as properties on Mars, Venus, and Mercury, and Io. Don't forget about the moon Io, people. I have to be honest here. I didn't even know that there was a planet named Io. It's a moon.
It's a moon.
It's not a planet. It's a moon. For those people who did not buy the land on the moon, here's how you can calculate time on the moon if you ever wind up going there. What do we calculate time? I don't want to calculate my time on the moon. If I'm buying property, I'm just going to live there. Does Dennis Hope own the moon? Probably not, but he is a they said probably not. So
probably not, but he'll take your money.
Probably not, but maybe. But he is the self-proclaimed CEO and president of the galactic government. This government looks after the lunar land. It also has its own constitution, Congress, and currency, and even patent office. Okay, good. Well, how do I get?
Do you have a post office there?
How can I get into the Congress? And how much?
Ask him. Can I buy land on the moon and I want 2 seats in Congress?
Dude, I can buy 1 acre of moon land for $25. And that comes with mineral rights, man.
You could dig down into the hollow moon.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm thinking about
wait a minute.
Buying it.
You said earlier, one of the stories, that the moon, that on the far side of the moon, the crust is thicker.
That's right. It's thicker.
That means you get more mineral rights over there. You're better to buy on the far side.
And people don't want to buy on the far side. They think it's dark, it's damp. It's
not dark.
Bad neighborhood over there.
It's the wrong side of the tracks.
I'm buying over there. I'm getting in on the ground floor, the lunar ground floor. I bet I can get I could easily get 2 acres over there. That's $50.
You should open up some really nice restaurants on the moon.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
To attract Tim Dillon. Come on, Tim.
Dillon will show up.
Come to the moon, Tim.
We got a comedy club in the best restaurants on the moon.
The website claims that the lunar surface is covered in helium-3. I don't want that. Just sweep that away.
Someone should clean that shit up.
Yeah. This is what it says, and I quote, a possible clean burning energy source with no wasteful byproduct. Also, did you know its projected value is $40,000 per ounce? The whole lit surface is covered in it, and it renews every 5 years based on interactions with the sun. Wow.
Go scoop it up.
It's free money up there, people.
This is quite the story.
So he's made a lot of money off this.
They never say how much he made.
Well, the Lunar Embassy Corporation has made estimated $12 million over the course of nearly 4 decades.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's right there.
I stand back. You made $12 million in the next paragraph.
Moreover, you even get a special gold embossed certificate with your purchase, which gives you the right to vote in future elections within the galactic government. Well, I would hope so.
Do you have the right to file property line disputes?
Yeah. I want to file grievances, disputes, and proclamations with my local government. There are currently 27 resellers, 6 ambassadors, 2 permanent staff members functioning for the real estate company.
2 full-time people?
License holders must pay a $60,000 fee and purchase a minimum number of homes each month in order to resell property or become an ambassador. That's not it. Dennis Hope, his net worth claims to be over $100 trillion thanks to his real estate business. Moreover, he owns 7 trillion acres of land on other planets. Well, that's quite something, buddy.
I'm upset by this.
I got to get in on this before it's too late. I missed out on the Meta world when they launched that VR in Meta, and you could buy plots of land. I know Snoop Dogg got some plots, and I didn't do that. I didn't buy anything in Second Life. I don't have any Bitcoin. I'm not missing out on this.
No Bitcoin, but I do own half of the moon.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'll give you $14,000
for the entire moon. We'll take it.
Well, it's like with Bitcoin at what, $120,000 or something like that. And I was reading, all these stories coming out of the people who cashed out when it crossed $1,000 or something like that.
Yeah, suckers and losers is what we say. We call those guys suckers and losers for not being able to have diamond hands and really hold on to the end there, people. But that's what they are.
Those folks buried in that cemetery were suckers and losers.
Yeah.
Suckers and losers, the guy said.
Yeah. Well, let's see what else you got, Cratchit.
All right.
Come on. That was a good one. And it tied right back around to my boring moon segment.
Yes. We have not done any AI stories tonight. Do we want to do an AI story or want to keep keep our streak going here with no AI?
AI.
Okay.
I say we do it.
I got 2 AI stories. I got one, which is similar to things we've discussed in the past about people getting in relationships with AI and messing them up.
Oh, yeah. Robot computers.
And then we've also talked about AI replacing or taking your job because it can, write code and software programming and things like that better than you can.
Yeah.
So I have a story about how that's not quite true. So which way you want to go?
Neither's choice. But I actually, no, the relationship stuff. I think it tugs at the heartstring. That's what people are majority going to use it for. I got into a long back and forth with AI today because it refused to format my syntax markdown. It did a horrible job. It sucks. I'm flat out saying it. It could not do it.
Did you tell that you own land on the moon? You're
I did not try
that.
Person. I did not. Next time I talk to it, I'll let it know that I am possibly the emperor of the moon.
I didn't say emperor. I just said landowner.
Oh, well, I took it up.
Putting on airs over there. I don't know. So, all right. So here's a lady. She asked ChatGPT for relationship advice, and doesn't go well for her relationship.
Woman files for divorce after ChatGPT reads husband's affair in coffee cup.
I love that headline.
Okay, this sounds weird, but okay, here we go. A Greek woman ended her 12-year marriage because ChatGPT told her to. Not directly, of course, but close enough. After making Greek coffee, herself and her husband took photos of the grounds left in the cups and asked ChatGPT to interpret them following a rising trend in AI-assisted tassiography.
I think it's tassiography, but yeah, which I had never heard of until I was looking through this article a while ago.
Isn't that interesting?
Apparently, it's divination, but it's divination based on coffee grounds or tea leaves or things. The residue left in the bottom of a coffee cup, which actually looking at mine right now says, "Don't buy land on the moon." Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Pussy.
Arnold's an aggressive salesman.
Yeah, he's really.
You want to buy land or not? No, pussy.
The chatbot reportedly
smashes your car window on the way past.
The chatbot reportedly saw signs of infidelity, especially in her husband's. That her husband was fascinating. I don't know what that means. Fascinating about women, or fantasizing about women whose names start with an E. And that this woman was trying to destroy their family. Wow, that's a lot to get out of just the coffee grounds on top of a coffee. But okay, I guess ChatGPT can do this. The woman files for divorce after ChatGPT. So, quote, she's often into trendy things, her husband said on the Greek morning show. One day, she made us Greek coffee and thought it would be fun to take pictures of the cups and have ChatGPT read them. He didn't take it seriously. I laughed it off as nonsense, but she didn't. She told me to leave, informed our kids about the divorce, and next thing I knew, I was getting a call from her lawyer. When he refused to agree to a mutual separation, she served him with formal papers 3 days later. His lawyer is now fighting the case, arguing that the AI-generated interpretation of coffee residue has no legal standing. He is innocent until proven otherwise. I would have to agree. But it sounds like there may be deeper issues in the relationship. And that
if she filed immediately, then I say there's something else going on here.
Yeah, there's something else going on here. Like, she was just looking for an excuse to get rid of this guy. According to the husband, this wasn't her first brush with alternative belief systems. She had previously followed an astrologer's predictions for nearly a year. The divorce has set off a wave of commentary on Greek social media and pulled in opinions from actual taxiography practitioners who were quick to point out that the photographing leftover sludge isn't exactly how it works. Traditional readings also consider foam pattern, the swirl, and the saucer.
Idiot.
This wasn't divination, just an algorithm doing their thing. Yeah, it was if it didn't know the answer, it was just making crap up.
Okay.
And yet, here we are. A marriage collapsed under the weight of betrayal or lies. I'm sorry, not collapsing under betrayal or lies, but under the interpretive powers of a chatbot trained to autocomplete text. Yeah, that's what happens.
These computers, I tell you, they just get crazier and crazier.
It's sad. Yeah, chatbots are ruining lives. And
makes you wonder, what if they had gone to just a Chinese restaurant and gotten fortune cookies?
Yeah, their life would be entirely different. Absolutely.
Or, if she gets the fortune that says, like, you will find, luck with a new love. Does she get up and just divorce a guy right there at the table?
It does seem as though she's that haphazard. These fortune cookies could say absolutely anything, and she'd probably do it. So, oh boy, let's see where we're going here. Cratchit, let's see what else you got.
All right.
Sure, it's only a glitch.
Yeah.
Well, here's a prank played on a Canadian couple, inadvertent prank.
I was just thinking real quick before you start. It sounds like this guy has a lawsuit against ChatGPT.
I'm waiting for this case to go all the way to the Supreme Court.
In Greece? Maybe.
Or wherever. Go to the moon court. Do they have a court on the moon?
Oh, absolutely. They have to have a court on the moon.
Lunar Lunar court.
Taking you to
Judge
Lunar
Wapner.
court. I'm not moving there if there's no court system.
The Lunar court with Judge Wapner.
Yeah.
They'll rule on anything. All right, so this story, we always, it's the joke that you have a fake phone number whenever you're, you have a TV or movie phone number in there. Every now and then you do hear a story about one that's real. Here's one that was somebody used a real phone number. They just made up a number, but it turns out it's legit and causing problems.
BC couple dodging dozens of calls about their missing cat, but their cat isn't missing.
It's a total fabrication.
Mm-hmm. A British Columbia couple is begging people to stop calling them. For over a year, Natasha Lavie and Jonathan McCurthrock have been fielding dozens upon dozens of calls from strangers claiming they found the couple's cat, Torbo. Wow. And they've been dealing with this for that long. Okay. Mm-hmm. But they don't have a cat named Torbo. And their cat, Mauser, isn't missing. So
you can just keep calling this number all day.
Keep on calling.
I didn't call you.
Yeah.
I didn't call you.
Sometimes, like 6 times a day, I'm getting these random phone calls and people leaving me voicemails saying they found my cat and they want money for my cat. She told the CBC on the on the Coast host, Gloria McInerney's show. I'm like, my cat's at home in the air conditioning.
Just don't call this number anymore.
Wait, the cat turns on the air conditioning at home?
It didn't say, probably. After many months of trying to figure out why this was happening, the dude asked the caller how they got the number. The caller explained that the number was listed on a shirt styled to look like a missing cat poster.
Why don't you hang up the phone and come to the number you're calling and discuss the matter, if you've got the guts to do it.
CBC reached out to the company in question, Wisdom NY, which said the shirt is no longer online. However, the company's Instagram page, where the photos of the missing cat posters are with the 604 area code number, are still attached to that.
I have been called 15 times.
The use of a real number within the cat art was not intentional, a customer service representative said to the news outlet. Okay.
Well, we'll see.
Well, it may not have been intentional. It was freaking lazy.
They did.
What could I help you with today?
Some phone numbers have been set aside in North America for fictional use, all starting with the number 555. Yeah, we hear that on TV shows constantly. It's like, oh my God, everyone on TV has a 555 number. As Terry O'Reilly explained in the 2021 episode of Under the Influence, the use of 555 started when TV shows and films started using phone numbers more frequently in their plot lines and attached those numbers to complaints about prank phone calls. Companies reserve 555-0100 through 555-0199 for fictional uses, okay?
I'll bust your head wide open if I could see you.
Guy gets aggressive.
He doesn't like these phone calls.
I have a cat.
Let's see here. I've had my number for 20 years, she said. I don't want to change it. I'll just keep not answering. So what's the point of having a phone number?
I'm trying to find out.
Okay. What's the length of the article? Some of the calls have been disturbing. In one voicemail they received, a caller claimed to have had a snake eat the free kittens. When we started to actually pick up the calls or responding on voicemails, I thought it was some attempt at a scam. You hear about scams all the time about missing pets. He said the calls are coming primarily from the United States, but they have received a couple from Canada. Half the time, they just cut off and go like, no, I've got your cat. I want money for the cat. And I'm like, no, there's no money. There's no cat. And they usually hang up. Quote, I feel like I deserve a T-shirt after this. I think we both do.
Okay.
Why don't they sue them? Sue for punitive damages.
Yeah. This is like at least harassment, emotional distress. Yeah, it may have been an accident, but accidents have real-world consequences.
Punitive damages here.
Yeah. I missed it in New York. Did they ever find that cat? I don't know.
Well, there is no cat.
Oh, okay.
Never was a cat.
It does look like there's a video on this. I don't think it's worth playing. I think we covered everything in this story that needed to be covered. In fact, too much.
Too much. Yeah,
I think we did too good of a job. All right, here we go.
Your intensity is for shit.
Oh, let's see. This was the big story of the week. It was posted all over the place in many different outlets. Clearly, they want you to know about this. Clearly, this was a PR push. I'm going to fall for it because of the subject matter. But I will give credit to, where's my credit notes here? Credit to Jigs22222 in the Discord I was the first person I saw post it. Oops, I didn't even paste it in there. Sorry about that. Now you get it. That Microsoft, they want to make sure they're doing the right thing for the planet.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad someone's doing the right thing. Microsoft wants to use human poop to lower its vast carbon footprint.
That's some good news on that front.
It is some good news. I'm glad they're finally thinking of innovative new solutions to this crisis that we may or may not be in. Unconfirmed at this point. We don't really know.
The poop fairy.
I think it's a big marketing push to tie in with the next version of Windows, Windows number 2.
Windows crap.
Thanks, Poop Fairy.
No, that was Vista. It's still out there.
Microsoft is looking to lower its vast carbon footprint by pumping human waste 5,000 feet below the ground's surface. Wow, that sounds like quite the task, but okay.
Let's do it.
What's down there? I don't know.
It's going down regardless. The tech giant hopes to offset its massive carbon footprint, only exacerbated by its venture into artificial intelligence, by using an unusual greenhouse gas removal strategy. On Thursday, Microsoft announced a deal to purchase 4.9 million metric tons of durable carbon dioxide removal from Vaulted Deep. The company's Bio-Slurry is a mix of human and farm waste, is injected deep underground in exchange for carbon credits.
Okay.
So we could do this? I think
you could claim to do it, yeah.
I could take a dump in a hole and get paid for it? Because
you bet.
Okay.
I'm saving up for land on the moon.
Let's do it.
Microsoft purchase will span 12 years starting next year. For each ton of carbon they shuttle deep underground, they will receive a carbon removal credit. Well, I just want the money. I don't care about the carbon credit. Just give me the money, okay? Because these carbon credits, they might not really shake out to be anything. I want the cash in hand.
I want the money!
We're taking different types of organic waste, says Julia Reichenstein, co-founder and chief of the executive of Vaulted Deep. She told the Journal. Vaulted Deep co-founder Omar, directing Hutchinson's community leaders on the site visit during the ribbon cutting. Oh, they're cutting a ribbon to commemorate them injecting human crap 5,000 feet below the surface. That's nice. It's sludgy, often contaminated organic waste that today causes problems above ground, and instead we take the waste and put it really deep underground for permanent carbon removal. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you shoot it to my plot of land on the moon? And you
should do that. You could offer to store people's carbon waste on the moon.
Yes, and because we don't really want that in the ground. It sounds like it smells awful. And, yeah, it might dissipate after a while, but really just shoot it on the moon, let it freeze, let me deal with it, okay? I'll take care of this. Not a big deal. You pay for the rocket, you shoot it up there, you know my plot of land.
You should offer, you can store it for free. They should get it there.
Yeah. I'll take as much as you want.
I got real thick crust up here.
I got a lot of crust. The waste used by Vaulted Deep is typically a slurry. So not quite solid, not quite liquid or gas. Traditionally, this type of waste is difficult to treat and often ends up being left in fields. Well, yeah, it's just going to freeze when you put it on the moon. So we'll be able to use it for structures. So don't worry about it.
You know, there's a comment here. They said this type of waste is difficult to treat and often ends up being left in fields, just, for fun, I guess, leading to nutrient runoff and the spread of PFAS or forever chemicals in the water systems. You know what worries me a little more? Firing it deep into the earth.
Yeah. That's why you got to fire it into the moon.
Fire it deep into space.
Yeah. Companies like Microsoft, which emit 75.5 million tons of CO2 from 2020 to 2024, hope that storing organic waste thousands of feet below the ground will help them meet their emissions targets. They're hoping. They don't know if it will. But they got to shoot this crap somewhere. So why not deep under your feet? Why don't they just shoot into a volcano?
Yeah, that's even better. Where are they getting all this stuff from? Are they collecting it?
Are they buying my crap? Are they buying my crap? Probably for free because no one wants to deal with sewage. So they're just basically paying for transportation, throwing it in a hole, and getting carbon credits for it. That's the scam.
I'm trying to figure out where the profit comes in on this.
I don't know. Yeah,
we collect your poop for free, we hide it in the dirt, and then we get fake monopoly money.
Yeah, something's going on here. They're essentially taking biosolids, and much of that today is spread over fields. It can create nutrient. Or you read that part? Okay.
Isn't that called fertilizer?
Yeah, in a lot of places it is, but human waste is not a very good fertilizer. So I've read, but
probably because we don't eat very good food.
Yeah, that's partially it.
If we were eating at those really nice restaurants that Tim Dillon goes to,
well, yeah, it's a whole different story.
That is like that's high end fertilizer.
It's a different story. Yeah, I don't know what Microsoft's up to here. I want to know where they're getting their Bio-Slurry from. I want to see if I can undercut them.
They never actually say where they get this from.
No, and there's an undercutting opportunity. There really is, and
we can do a 10% less.
How much is one carbon credit worth? That's what I want to know. So, how much is one carbon?
Sounds like a
credit?
job for AI.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking right now. It's searching the web. So let's see, average price around $7 per ton.
That's it?
$7 per ton.
Wait, of human shit or of pseudo granola carbon dioxide waste stuff?
So these guys on Microsoft, they announced a deal to purchase almost 5 million metric tons. So how much is a metric ton? So how much is 5 million metric tons?
So this says it sells for $350 a metric ton. How much did they buy?
About 5 million metric tons. I'm seeing if I'm trying to find out where Microsoft is really getting their money, because they purchased this and then they're shooting it deep into the earth.
So they're spending $1.75 billion on poo-poo.
No. The estimated value in carbon credits, like on the high side, is almost $200 million in carbon credit value.
It says here $350 a metric ton, and you said they purchased 5 million. Isn't that 1.75 billion? How much moon could I buy for that?
You probably buy the entire thing.
Ooh, and then you know what? Coat it with.
Yeah, cover it in Bio-Slurry.
Why is the moon brown?
Where's my Bio-Slurry?
I've been burying it on the far side. It's thicker back there.
Well,
don't go back there.
Microsoft's got to do something. Their new Windows 11 is not doing very well.
This sounds like a scam or possibly scamola. I'm not sure how it works. But this has to be a scam.
They got to be working the numbers somehow. It's not; these numbers are not adding up.
Oh, if you go to their website, if you go to vaultdeep.com, at the top right, I can just give them money right now.
Oh, really? That's how they're making money?
That's easier. Custom. Oh, how much can I get custom? I'm going to give them $1.75 billion.
Okay.
I could remove 4,375,000 metric tons of carbon. If I do this, we're done.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to give this monthly, though. I'm going to stay in. Wait, there's a fee? Oh, you bastards. They're skimming $43 million off my $1.75 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we'll find out.
How much Bio-Slurry do I get for this?
Where can I purchase Bio-Slurry?
Yeah, is that what I'm getting? If I give them money, do they like show up with a bunch of trucks? Where do you want it?
Where can I buy Bio-Slurry? Christmas is coming up.
Some guy's going to ring the bell, standing there holding a clipboard. Yeah, I got a delivery. There's 48 trucks.
Okay. There's international suppliers, according to ChatGPT.
Ew.
I can get some local sources.
Ew.
I can join regional farmers co-ops to get their Bio-Slurry.
Can I go out to the local dog park and just follow dogs around?
With like a little pan.
Sir, what are you doing? Mind your business.
Collecting Bio-Slurry.
Selling it to Microsoft.
Trying to compete with Microsoft here.
Trying to muscle them out of the market. Ugh. Well, that's your show, Art, if I had more time.
Well, thank you, everyone, for hanging out during the show. I know my moon segment was lackluster. I know that. I sense that. And
but
it's okay.
We do know that the far side of the moon is thicker, and you can buy it for $25 an acre.
Yeah, there were some fun facts that came out of it. But we'll do better next time. And on episode 1313, we'll find out if we can get out of the New Kingdom. If it's possible. What that means, we don't know. We're going to find out what happens.
It's Jeff
on
Goldblum
Saturday.
still down there with a couple of roommates?
Yeah. Last time we saw him, he did have some Chinese roommates. Although I think they left. I think they were just migrants. They passed through. They're just passing through.
They're just Bio-Slurry salesmen.
Yeah, just trying to make a living out there.
On the way to the conference.
Yes.
In Wichita.
Goodbye.
That's what he said. He said goodbye.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I made a mistake.
Of course. Thank you, everyone. You can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. There's a new episode of Doom scrolling out. And we'll be back on Saturday. We'll tackle some more hard-hitting news that people just have to know about. I'm dying to tell you about all the news.
So it's going to be all the Bio-Slurry news you could ever want.
Yes. Wow. Goldblum's not happy. Well, thank you, Cratchit. Thank you, everyone. Shablagoo.
Keep watching the skis because we're shooting Bio-Slurry to the moon.
Oh, fuck. Can't do it.
Just your hand off my penis!
That's what I want now. Look out for a brother, man. Come on.
That's what I call a close encounter.
That's about all.
Shablagoo.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu.